Hello everyone and welcome back to another GTA Online guide. Today I'm going to be comparing the Volatus and the SuperVolito carbon luxury helicopters, so let's waste no time and get to the review. So I'm comparing these two helicopters in particular because they have a very similar price range and both have backseat luxuries installed. So let's first take a look at the SuperVolito, or should I say the two different versions of the helicopter, because it comes in a standard version and a carbon version, which I gotta say is something that I really like. But what's the difference? Well, apart from a few cosmetic differences on some of the body parts and the overall carbon finish, the helicopter actually makes use of the carbon materials used on the bodywork, boasting better acceleration, altitude gain and loss, and faster cornering, so in a race the carbon would have an advantage over the standard version. But in reality, if you had to do a helicopter race, one would always pick the Buzzard, since nothing really beats the Buzzard as of this video's upload. So just decide on whether or not you would actually want to pay the extra price for a slightly better version of the same helicopter. I should probably state that with the purchase of the Aquarius Yacht, you'll find one of these things parked up on one of the helipads, so if you haven't bought a yacht yet and you want to get your hands on one of these too, consider buying the Aquarius. But enough about the differences, how does it handle? Well, the helicopter isn't very heavy, so it's easily capable of flying near obstacles with complete confidence, featuring fast acceleration, altitude gain and loss with a good top speed as well. With its wide skis, the helicopter is very easy to land, being able to land on pretty much any terrain, making it a very good helicopter for picking up very important players who need rescue. And as stated earlier, once said player is rescued, one can enjoy a nice drink and some onboard entertainment. Moving on to the Volatus, a helicopter which boasts a very long nose, is a helicopter that I think you either have to love or hate. I personally like its design, being more sleek than the SuperVolito with its foldable wheels instead of the SuperVolito's skis, its razor sharp looking rotor blades on the top, and its overall thin design. Because of its thin design and small wheelbase used for landing, the Volatus can be a rather difficult helicopter to land on anything other than a dedicated landing pad, as this thing will easily topple over if you're not careful. So let's take it up into the air and see how it handles. Well, like the SuperVolito, the Volatus is very easy to pilot, both very agile and light. To be honest, I don't really feel much of a difference in handling in this compared to the SuperVolito, so let's just do an informal running drag race to see if there's any top speed difference between the two. So from what we just saw, the Volatus had a bit of a lead in the drag race against the SuperVolito, crossing the line about half a second earlier. But to be honest, this speed difference isn't really much of a seller in my opinion, as I still really like the SuperVolito, mainly because of its large skis, making it a much more practical helicopter to use. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments, and hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Pyrerealm Gaming channel for loads more GTA Online guides coming to you very soon. See you around!